humans accidentally enter a galactic empire and remain completely unfazed. The ship was on a routine test jump, something the crew had done many times before. It was supposed to be a simple exercise, a short hop to a nearby system and back, but even simple exercises could go wrong. "All systems normal," said Lisa Brown, the navigator, her voice steady. She adjusted some controls and smiled. "Jump coordinates confirmed. This should be smooth." "Good," Ethan replied. He leaned back slightly and glanced at the rest of the crew. Daniel Ross, the engineer, was checking engine readouts, tapping on the panel with quiet concentration. Amy Clark, the communications officer, was listening to faint static from distant transmissions, occasionally nodding to herself. Kevin Hill, the junior science officer, looked at a monitor showing nearby star systems and planets. All of them seemed calm. "Ready for jump in 3, 2, 1, Ethan said. He pressed the jump button. The ship shivered and the stars stretched into long lines. The familiar sensation of faster-than-light travel filled the cabin. Then, with a soft thump, the sensation stopped. The stars returned to points of light, but something was different. The monitors showed unfamiliar readings. There were strange energy signatures and a web of nearby traffic that did not match any known charts. "What is this?" Kevin asked, frowning. "I don't know," Lisa said. She double-checked the coordinates. "We didn't jump anywhere near this region. This isn't on any map." "We must have miscalculated," Daniel said. He shrugged. "Happens to the best of us." Ethan nodded slowly. He stayed calm like he always did. "Okay, everyone. Let's treat this like a normal deviation. No panic. Check for hazards and keep communication open." Amy turned to the main view screen. "There's a lot of traffic nearby. Ships, big ones, some look like patrol vessels, all of them heading toward us." "Well," Ethan said, leaning forward, "let's greet them politely. Maybe we just stumbled into a busy system." The horizon sent out a standard identification signal. The response was immediate. Alarms flashed on the bridge. Red warnings blinked everywhere. Alien vessels were approaching fast. Their shapes were angular, sharp, and nothing like human designs. Lights pulsed along their hulls and strange symbols appeared on screens. "They're hailing us," Amy said, her voice calm. She opened the channel. The voice that came through was harsh, metallic, almost impossible to understand. The aliens spoke quickly, using words none of them knew. The subtitles on the monitor tried to translate, but the meaning was clear. "Intruder detected. Leave immediately or face destruction." Ethan smiled faintly. He leaned back. "Well, that is polite enough. Let's answer them in our language first. Maybe it will confuse them." Amy nodded. She keyed in a response. "Hello, we are human explorers. We did not mean to enter this space. We are on a routine jump. Could you please help us understand where we are?" The aliens paused. The response came slower this time. Words were stern, filled with authority. "You are in Imperial space. You have violated our borders. Leave immediately or we will use force." "Force is always an option," Ethan said lightly. "But let's see if we can resolve this with words first." He turned to Lisa. "Plot a slow exit path. Stay calm and follow their instructions if needed." "Captain, there are more ships appearing," Lisa said. "Dozens now. Some are much bigger than ours. They are forming a perimeter." "Good," Ethan said. He grinned slightly. "At least we have an audience. Daniel, keep engines stable. Kevin, record everything. Amy, keep talking. Lisa, show them we are compliant but calm." The Horizon's crew moved like a single team. No one panicked. They had faced emergency drills, power failures, and engine problems before. This was just another problem to solve. When the alien ships moved closer, a small boarding craft separated from one of the larger vessels. It came toward the horizon slowly. The human crew watched carefully. Ethan's hand hovered near the controls, ready to react if needed, but he stayed calm. "They are boarding us," Amy said quietly. "Let's greet them," Ethan said. "No need to make enemies before we even talk." When the boarding crew entered, the aliens looked fierce. Their armor was shiny and sharp, and their eyes glowed faintly. They expected humans to panic, to beg, to bow. But the humans did none of that. Ethan rose, smiled politely, and extended a hand. "Welcome," he said. "Please make yourselves comfortable. We are just visitors." The alien captain hesitated. It was a gesture they did not understand. Humans were supposed to be terrified, but these humans were calm, smiling, and treating them like ordinary guests. "I'm Ethan Cole," he said. "This is our ship, Horizon. We made a mistake in navigation. We apologize. Could you tell us where we are?" The alien captain stared. He did not know how to respond. His officers whispered to each other. They expected screams, fear, maybe surrender. But Ethan and his crew were just talking. "I am Lisa Brown, navigator," Lisa said. She handed over the ship's star charts. "We misjumped. Please advise us of safe coordinates so we can leave." "Daniel Ross, engineer," Daniel added. "Everything is operational. We can move as soon as we know where to go." The aliens looked at each other. This was impossible. No being had ever greeted them like this under threat. The aliens had expected panic and terror, not polite questions and smiles. "Amy Clark, Communications," Amy said. "We mean no harm. We are curious but friendly," she smiled. "Please, can we talk like neighbors rather than enemies?" The alien captain's head tilted slightly. He had never seen anything like this. He signaled to the others. After a few tense moments, he gestured for the humans to remain seated while he communicated with his fleet. Kevin Hill, the junior science officer, looked around the alien ship with interest. "Their technology is fascinating," he said quietly. "I'd like to take some readings if allowed." The alien captain did not answer. His mind was racing. These humans were not afraid. They were not impressed. They were simply calm. He had to report this to his superiors. Ethan noticed the hesitation. He leaned back. "Everything okay?" he asked politely. "We will leave as soon as we know the correct jump coordinates. We do not want to intrude." The alien captain could not believe his ears. No other species would have said that. Most would have begged for mercy or panicked. These humans were not just unfazed. They were courteous, respectful, and confident. Finally, the captain made a decision. He gestured for the humans to return to their ship. "You may leave," he said, "but report your location and do not enter Imperial space again." Ethan smiled. "Thank you, we appreciate it." He turned to his crew. "Everyone, prepare for jump. Keep calm. Let's go home safely." As the Horizon's engines powered up, the aliens watched in confusion. The humans made no dramatic gestures, no hurried panic, no emotional collapse. They were normal people, polite, friendly, and completely unfazed by the presence of a massive galactic empire. The boarding crew left quietly. Ethan and his team took careful readings of their surroundings, noting the alien vessels, their formations, and their technology. Kevin whispered, "This is incredible. I've never seen ships like this so close." "Yes," Ethan said, "but stay focused. This is a navigation problem first, curiosity second." The human ship engaged the jump drives and disappeared from Imperial space. The stars stretched into lines again, faster than light travel, humming smoothly. The crew relaxed slightly. No one celebrated or panicked. It had been a close encounter but handled calmly, like any other problem in space. "We are lucky," Lisa said, adjusting the charts. "We need to be more careful next time." "We always are," Ethan said, smiling faintly. "But the galaxy is bigger than we thought. Maybe someday we will meet them again, hopefully under better circumstances." Kevin laughed quietly. "I just hope they remember us as polite visitors, not intruders." Ethan nodded. "If they do, they might be curious about us next time. Curiosity is better than fear." The Horizon moved into unknown space, calm and steady. The human crew continued their routines, checking instruments, taking notes, and discussing the encounter. They had faced a galactic empire without fear, without panic, and without awe. For Ethan Cole and his crew, it was just another day in space. A surprising day, yes, but handled with the quiet confidence of humans who had learned to face the unknown and stay calm no matter what. And somewhere in the Empire, the alien officers whispered in disbelief, unsure how to report a species that did not tremble before power, that did not beg for mercy, that simply treated the universe as if it were ordinary. The Horizon continued its journey, carrying humans who were unshaken, curious, and ready for whatever the galaxy had to offer next. After leaving the Imperial Patrol Zone, the Horizon moved slowly through space. Captain Ethan Cole kept the ship on a careful course, but he knew they had only escaped the first encounter. The galaxy was vast and the Empire's borders were many. The crew felt curious, not afraid. "What now?" Kevin Hill asked, scanning the sensors. "We could try to find a safe system nearby and report our jump error." "Good idea," Ethan said, "but let's stay alert. The Empire may want to follow us or communicate further. We need to be ready for anything but without panic." Lisa Brown nodded. "I will plot a safe course while monitoring all signals. If anything unusual appears, we will know immediately." Daniel Ross, the engineer, leaned back in his chair. "It's strange. They didn't attack us, but they didn't fully trust us either. Their ships are incredible, and yet they hesitate. They've never seen anything like our calmness before." Amy Clark at Communications smiled slightly. "We have a reputation now, whether we like it or not. Polite visitors who ignore fear." "I wonder how far that will go in their empire," Kevin grinned. "I want to see their main stations, not for fighting, just for science. Can you imagine the technology there, the size of their fleets?" Ethan chuckled softly. "Curiosity is fine, but we have to be careful. Let's focus on getting back to known space first. Then we can study from a safe distance." They traveled through a quieter sector, the stars stretching in long, slow lines as the jump engines worked steadily. For hours, the crew kept up routines, checking systems, taking notes, and quietly discussing the Empire. "I still don't understand," Kevin said. "Why didn't they just destroy us? They could have easily done it." "Because we didn't panic," Ethan explained. "They are used to fear. Every species bows or screams or fights. Humans just ask questions and stay calm. That confuses them." Lisa added, "It's not arrogance, it's experience. We've faced emergencies and disasters before. We know fear doesn't help. It's just another problem to solve." "Still," Amy said, "I never thought I would meet a galactic empire and feel normal. Like this is just another day." Their conversation was interrupted by a soft alarm. The ship's sensors picked up a signal different from the previous patrol ships. A fleet was forming at the edge of their scans. Large, triangular vessels moved in formation, scanning the horizon. The humans recognized immediately that these were not mere patrols. They were military-grade ships. "Looks like they are following us," Lisa said. "Let's not panic," Ethan said. "Open a communication channel. Let's greet them politely and see what they want." Amy activated the channel. The same harsh, metallic voice from before came through. "Horizon, you are not permitted to leave Imperial space without permission. Identify yourselves." Ethan smiled slightly. "Hello again. We are humans, explorers. We made a navigation mistake and wish to return to our own charts. We have no hostile intent." The aliens hesitated. They were confused by the calm tone and polite phrasing. They had expected fear or aggression, but instead the humans were talking like neighbors. "We will escort you," the voice said finally. "You will come with us to the nearest Imperial station for questioning and reporting." Ethan nodded. "Understood. Please lead the way." "We will follow." The Horizon adjusted course slightly to match the alien fleet. As they traveled together, the crew observed the ships closely. Kevin could not hide his excitement. "Look at their engines. They are huge but efficient. And the shields incredible," Daniel nodded. "And the bridge designs are unlike anything I've seen. They are advanced but not chaotic. Every control has a purpose." Ethan leaned back, watching the screens. "Remember, observation only. They are our hosts now. behave politely." Hours later, they arrived at an enormous space station. It was larger than any human city, spinning slowly with massive docking bays and thousands of lights. The alien fleet positioned themselves around it like guardians. "Welcome to Imperial Station Delta 9, Amy said softly, reading the signage on the view monitors. "I've never seen anything like this." Lisa smiled. "Let's keep calm, this is just a station. Huge, yes, but still a place, nothing more." The Horizon docked carefully, guided by the station's automated systems. Once secured, Ethan and his crew prepared to meet the Imperial Council. They had no weapons drawn, no panic, only polite greetings and ready minds. The docking bay doors opened, revealing the aliens' interior architecture. The walls were sleek metallic with soft lighting. The humans walked through calmly, noting every detail as if it were a new museum to explore. A group of alien officers approached, led by a tall, armored figure. The humans bowed slightly in respect, though not out of fear, just courtesy. Ethan stepped forward first. "I am Ethan Cole, captain of the Horizon," he said. "We apologize for entering your space. We wish only to learn where we are and return safely." The alien leader stared. He expected fear, submission, or panic. Instead, Ethan and his crew smiled politely. Amy Clark stepped forward. "We are visitors, not intruders. We hope to be understood." The aliens exchanged nervous glances. They had never encountered a species that spoke like this under threat. The council was called immediately. Within the hour, the humans were escorted to a large meeting chamber. The walls were vast, with high ceilings and enormous screens showing star systems and fleets. Ethan and his crew were seated at a long table. Alien council members filled the other side, their faces stern, their postures rigid. The humans did not tremble. They took out small tablets and notebooks, noting the design of the room and the technology used. "You are humans," the lead council member said finally. "You are brave or foolish to enter Imperial space and remain unafraid. Explain yourselves." Ethan smiled. "We are humans. We explore, we make mistakes, and we learn from them. Fear does not help us. We remain calm because we focus on solutions, not threats." The council members whispered among themselves. Some were confused, others fascinated. The idea that a species could face them and not be scared was new. Lisa spoke next. "We have studied space hazards, stellar phenomena, and emergencies. Fear slows decision-making. Calm observation solves problems." Daniel added, "We mean no disrespect. Your fleet is impressive. Your station is amazing. We simply treat it as data, not gods." The council seemed disturbed. They expected submission, awe, or terror. None came. Instead, humans treated them like scientists examining a large experiment. "What do you want?" one council member finally asked. "Guidance," Ethan replied. "We want to know how to return to known space safely. We also hope to exchange information peacefully. We are not here to conquer, only to understand." Kevin could not resist. He asked politely, "May we study some of your technology from a safe distance? Just for research purposes." The council hesitated. They were unsure how to react. No other species had asked such a thing politely without fear. Some murmured among themselves. One officer muttered, "They are not like the others. They do not tremble." Amy added, "We will comply with your rules. We do not seek conflict. We simply wish to learn and share knowledge if allowed." The council finally nodded. They would not harm the humans. They would not celebrate them. They simply did not know what to do. These humans had shown respect, calmness, and confidence, all while ignoring threats. Ethan stood up politely. "Thank you for your time. We will follow your instructions and leave safely once our jump coordinates are confirmed. Your patience is appreciated." As the humans left the chamber, they noted the council's uncertain expressions. This was not fear, not awe, but curiosity and confusion. The humans had done something no other species had managed. They had met the Empire and remained completely unfazed. In their quarters, the Horizon's crew laughed softly. "Well," Lisa said, "that was different. They are huge and powerful, but we didn't lose our heads." "Exactly," Ethan replied. "We handled it like any other problem. That's what humans do. We adapt, observe, and respond calmly." Daniel grinned. "I can't wait to record all of this. They are going to be talking about us for a long time, and we don't even act special." Kevin nodded. "I just hope we can return home soon, but part of me wants to see more of their stations." Amy smiled. "Curiosity is fine, but remember our mission. Safe jump home first." As the Horizon rested for the night cycle, the crew felt calm, prepared, and ready for whatever came next. They had survived a direct encounter with a galactic empire without fear. They had learned more about the empire's technology, structure, and thought processes. Most importantly, they had proven something unusual. Humans could meet overwhelming power and remain human, curious, polite, and unfazed. And somewhere on the station, the Imperial officers whispered nervously about the strange species that had entered their space, smiled at them, and expected nothing but fair treatment in return. The Horizon floated in the docking bay, quiet, ready, and calm, while the Empire itself began to reconsider what it meant to meet a new species after the humans were escorted to the Imperial station. The Council decided to keep them under observation. Ethan Cole and his crew were allowed to move freely inside the station, but every step they took was watched by Imperial officers. The humans noticed, but they did not change their calm behavior. They treated the surveillance as a curious fact, not a threat. "They are watching us closely," Lisa Brown said quietly as she checked the hallway monitors. "But I think they are just trying to understand us." "Good," Ethan said. "Let them watch. We have nothing to hide, only observations to make." Kevin Hill's eyes were wide as he examined the station. "Look at this place. It is huge. Their corridors are wide, the ceilings are so high, and those lights along the walls, they seem to adjust automatically based on who is walking by." Daniel Ross chuckled. "They probably expect us to panic at every detail. Instead, we're just taking notes. Imagine how confusing that must be for them." Amy Clark nodded. "And we're not hiding our curiosity. We're just normal humans. We observe, ask questions, and stay calm, nothing more." The humans were escorted to a large observation room overlooking one of the Empire's central fleets. Ships of every size moved in formation, some larger than anything humans had ever built. Battle cruisers, carriers, and transport ships glided through space in perfect synchronization. Ethan leaned forward, studying the scene. "It's impressive," he said, "but it doesn't scare us. It's data to be recorded, not a threat." Kevin was already taking notes. "The coordination is amazing. Their engines are stable, shields are strong, and formations are precise. We could learn a lot just by watching." Lisa added, "And notice how they communicate. Silent signals, lights, and movement. It's very efficient." "They are showing off their power," Amy said, "but we aren't impressed. We've seen worse conditions in human space. Storms, asteroid fields, damaged ships, and we survived calmly." The humans' calm observation created a strange tension among the Empire's officers. They were used to species trembling at the sight of their fleets, bowing before their power. These humans simply watched and took notes. They even compared the alien ships to human designs. One council member whispered to another, "Why are they not afraid?" Another replied, "I do not know. They do not behave like any species we have studied. They are curious, calm, confident." As the humans continued their observations, the council decided to allow limited interaction. Ethan and his crew were invited to walk through one of the smaller fleet vessels. They were escorted by officers who expected nervous questions or awe. Instead, the humans asked technical questions politely, noted details, and complimented clever engineering solutions. "Your warp stabilizers are very efficient," Kevin said, pointing to a glowing panel. "We studied similar designs in human prototypes, but your scale is remarkable." The officer leading the tour looked confused. He had expected fear or exaggerated admiration, not a calm scientific analysis. Daniel examined the engine systems carefully. Your energy conduits are stable. Redundancy is good. Fail-safes are clear. Impressive work. Ethan smiled. We are not trying to belittle. Just honest observation. Humans have a long history of engineering challenges, so we naturally compare. The alien officers continued to escort the humans, still unsure how to respond. Every calm question, every polite remark, every unshaken glance confused them more. After the tour, the humans were returned to their quarters. Ethan gathered the crew for a quick discussion. They are trying to understand us, he said, and we are helping in our way. Remember, calm observation is our strength. Do not give them fear or false impressions. We are human, normal, and polite. Lisa nodded. It is fascinating. Their technology, their fleets, their discipline, all so advanced, but they don't intimidate us. We remain humans. Kevin leaned back. And they can't figure out why. They expected panic, but all they see is steady curiosity. They can't categorize us. Amy added, that might be our advantage. They underestimate humans because they expect fear. Instead, they get calm intelligence and polite behavior. Over the next few days, the humans were allowed limited access to observation decks and research areas. They quietly recorded fleet movements, noted planetary layouts, and even studied some alien protocols, all with permission. Ethan noticed that the more the humans acted normally, the more confused the Empire became. Officers whispered in corridors, discussing the strange behavior. Scientists debated whether the humans were fearless, arrogant, or simply different. I think they are not arrogant, Ethan said during a crew meeting. They are just unaware of fear, or they experience it differently. We have faced extinction events, dangerous missions, and crises. We know fear does not help. We stay calm to survive. Daniel smiled. So our calm is a weapon in a way, not destructive but confusing to them. Lisa nodded. They are watching us like lab specimens, but they can't predict our reactions. We are unpredictable because we are calm and rational. Kevin laughed quietly. I never thought being calm would make us so powerful. Amy smiled. It's not power, it's perspective. Humans have survived against odds they cannot imagine. This is nothing new for us. While the humans continued their research and observations, reports reached the Imperial Council. Humans were walking through fleets, studying stations, and interacting politely with officers. They were not afraid, not awed, not aggressive. They simply were. This is unacceptable, one council member said. We cannot understand them. No species behaves like this. Perhaps they are the first true equals we have encountered, another whispered. Not because of power, but because of perspective. They do not see us as gods, only as neighbors. The humans continued their calm routines. Ethan held meetings with officers politely, discussing navigation, space hazards, and scientific observations. He answered questions openly and honestly. Kevin asked detailed questions about propulsion and energy systems. Lisa studied fleet coordination. Amy handled communications with clarity. Daniel explored engineering principles. Their behavior amazed the Empire. No other species had walked through their fleets and stations without fear. No other species had discussed technology politely while inside Imperial space. No other species had ignored intimidation entirely. They are unlike any we have met, an officer said quietly. We expected them to collapse, to beg, to tremble. Instead, they are normal humans, completely unfazed. Ethan, meanwhile, treated the situation like any exploration mission. He did not see the fleets as threats. He saw them as data points, subjects to observe and neighbors to learn from. He maintained calm, polite demeanor at all times. One day, as they walked through an observation corridor overlooking a massive fleet assembly, Ethan spoke to his crew. Remember, we are learning, not judging. Do not react with fear. Observe, ask questions, take notes. The Empire expects panic, we give calmness, that is our strength. Kevin whispered, "It feels strange to be so normal in the presence of such power." Ethan smiled. "Normal is our shield, panic is theirs. When they expect fear and see none, they lose balance." Lisa added, "And we are safe. They watch, they study, but they respect calm intelligence. As long as we remain polite and careful, nothing will happen." As the humans continued their stay, they recorded vast amounts of data. They learned fleet patterns, energy outputs, planetary defenses, and logistics. Yet at every step, they remained calm, conversational, and polite. Their demeanor remained unchanged, no matter how impressive the Empire's displays were. The Council began to debate. Some officers argued that the humans were dangerous, but not in a traditional sense. Others said they could be allies if approached carefully. The humans' calm confidence was a force in itself. "We have never seen this," one council member said. "They do not fear us. They do not worship us. They simply act as humans do, polite, curious, calm, and that unsettles everything we know about diplomacy and power." The humans, meanwhile, ate their meals, recorded observations, and shared quiet jokes in the corridors. Ethan explained planetary features to Kevin. Lisa studied fleet maps with Amy. Daniel noted energy outputs and design efficiencies. All of them remained composed as if this was another ordinary mission. And the Empire watched, fascinated, confused, and slightly anxious. These humans were not conquerors nor terrified prey. They were normal, unshaken, unfazed, polite, and curious. The Horizon crew had changed the Empire's perception simply by existing calmly. They had not fought, bribed, or destroyed anything. They had not shouted or panicked. They had just been human. The Council realized that humans were different in a way that power alone could not measure. These humans could walk among fleets, stations, and emperors without fear. They could question, observe, and learn without trembling. And somewhere in the corridors of the Imperial Station, whispers spread. "They are human, and we cannot predict them. We cannot control them with fear. We cannot measure them by our usual standards." The Horizon crew continued their calm routines, unaware of the ripples they were causing in the Empire. They were humans on a mission, curious, polite, and unfazed. And in their ordinary calm, they had become extraordinary in the eyes of an entire galactic empire. The Imperial Council had observed the humans for days. Their calmness, their polite questions, and their total lack of fear confused the Empire more than anything else. Council members whispered in corridors, debating what to do next. Finally, they decided to show the humans the true power of the Empire, hoping intimidation would provoke fear or submission. Captain Ethan Cole and his crew were summoned to a special chamber. The room was massive, with high ceilings and walls covered in enormous screens. The humans entered calmly, their steps measured, their expressions polite. They had seen large fleets and stations before. This was impressive but not frightening. "Welcome," one council member said. "Today we will show you the might of the Imperial fleet and the weapons at our command. Perhaps this will make you understand the danger you are in." Ethan nodded slightly. "We appreciate your demonstration. We will observe carefully." The chamber's walls opened, revealing a view of space unlike anything the humans had seen. Hundreds of ships filled the field of view. Enormous warships glided in formation, their energy weapons glowing ominously. Planet-sized cannons rotated slowly, aimed at distant targets. The human sensors detected power levels far beyond human capability. "Incredible," Kevin whispered, his voice full of awe though not fear. He began recording data and taking notes. "Their energy outputs are massive. Shields, weapons, fleet coordination, everything is optimized for maximum power." "Yes," Ethan said quietly, "it is impressive, but we remain calm. Observation first, interpretation second." Lisa Brown nodded. "They expect fear, they want panic, they want submission. Instead, we remain human, calm, polite, and respectful. Daniel Ross examined his readings. Their technology is beyond anything humans have built. Their power is clear, but it doesn't change who we are. It doesn't frighten us. Amy Clark smiled faintly. And that is what confuses them. They have never faced a species that sees power and does not tremble. The Council activated massive holograms showing battles from history, the conquest of entire species, and the destruction of worlds. The humans watched quietly. They made no expression of fear, only careful observations. Ethan took notes. Kevin compared weapon power to human designs. Lisa studied formation tactics. Daniel analyzed energy efficiency. Amy observed communication patterns. "They are calm," one council member whispered nervously. "Do you see it? They do not react as expected. They are human, but something we cannot understand." The council grew uneasy. The more they displayed, the more the humans remained steady. The humans were taking the demonstration as data, not a threat. "Why are they not afraid?" a junior officer asked. "We have shown them our greatest strength. They do not tremble, they do not beg, they do not collapse." "Perhaps they are fearless," another replied. "Or perhaps they are simply different. They do not experience fear the way other species do. They are calm because they choose to be calm." Ethan spoke politely. "Thank you for showing us your capabilities. Your fleet and weapons are impressive. Humans have faced dangerous situations before. We understand power does not always equal control. We remain calm so we can learn, not react emotionally." The council members exchanged uneasy glances. They had not expected this. No species had ever looked at their most powerful weapons and remained composed. Kevin raised a question. "May I ask about the energy distribution in your primary weapons arrays? The efficiency seems remarkable." An alien officer stared. "You are asking questions while we demonstrate total destruction potential. That is unusual." "We study," Kevin said politely. "Understanding is not disrespectful. Fear is not our response. Curiosity is," Daniel added, "and your engineering is impressive. Humans can learn from efficiency, not just power. We respect it even if it is alien to us." Lisa turned to the humans' sensors. "Their shields and fleet coordination are stable. Nothing here threatens us physically. We treat it as data, not danger. That is our advantage." The council began to realize that intimidation was useless. Fear did not exist in these humans the way it existed in others. Showing power had no effect. The humans remained polite, curious, and composed. "Perhaps we should consider diplomacy," one council member said quietly. "They are not terrified, not submissive. They respond only to fairness and reason." Ethan noticed the council's hesitation. "We are humans," he said softly. "We respect order, rules, and knowledge. We do not submit out of fear, nor attack out of aggression. We observe, we learn, and we respond rationally. That is how humans survive." Amy added, "We are not impressed because we do not measure everything by power. We measure effectiveness, reason, and clarity. Threats do not change that." The humans' calmness became a mirror. The more the Empire displayed, the more it highlighted that fear and intimidation had no effect on humans. The Council struggled to adjust their expectations. "What do they want?" a junior officer asked. "They are polite, curious, and calm. They do not fear us. They do not ask for mercy. They simply exist in our presence as equals, perhaps." "They are unlike any species we have met," a senior council member said. "They cannot be measured by intimidation. They respect knowledge, fairness, and calm behavior. We may need to reconsider our approach." Ethan continued to speak politely. "Humans have faced wars, disasters, and crises. We understand danger, but we do not let it control us. Remaining calm allows us to think clearly and act responsibly. Fear slows decision-making. Observation improves outcomes." Kevin added, "Your weapons are powerful, your fleets coordinated, but they are only tools. We study tools, not threats. Understanding does not require fear." Daniel smiled. and we respect your discipline. Humans also value structure and order. We are merely different in how we respond to power. Lisa concluded, we learn from data, not from intimidation. That is our method. We remain calm and rational. It is not arrogance, only experience. The council members were silent. They realized that the humans' calmness was a kind of strength the Empire had never encountered. It was not raw power, but a psychological force. Humans could face overwhelming fleets and weapons without fear. Humans could question, observe, and learn. Humans could remain human, even in the presence of supreme power. The humans returned to their quarters after the demonstration. They continued their routines, recording data, analyzing observations, discussing findings, and quietly sharing small jokes. Nothing about the imperial display had shaken them. They had remained calm, polite, and composed throughout. Ethan spoke to the crew. Remember, calmness is our shield. Knowledge is our weapon. We face power with observation, not panic. That is what humans do. Fear is optional. Rational thought is necessary, Kevin laughed softly. We are like walking paradoxes to them. They show ultimate power. We show calm. They expect terror. We give respect and curiosity. Amy nodded. And it works. We are safe. They are learning about us, not threatening us. Our behavior is stronger than intimidation, Daniel added, and they cannot fully understand it. We are unpredictable in our steadiness. They measure others by reactions. We react differently calmly. Lisa smiled. And we will continue like this. We are humans, that is our way. Polite, curious, calm, and rational. The council continued to debate behind closed doors. Some officers wanted to escalate, others wanted to study the humans further. The more the humans remained calm, the more uncertainty grew. Intimidation had failed. The humans had met the Empire's greatest displays without fear, and that was something new in the galaxy. For Ethan Cole and his crew, it was simply another day in space. They recorded data, studied the Empire's technology, and interacted politely with officers. For the Empire, it was a lesson in unpredictability, patience, and the strange strength of calm human behavior. And in the quiet of their quarters, the Horizon crew prepared for the next stage of their journey. They would leave the Empire soon, but their calm, polite, and rational behavior had already made a lasting impression. They had faced the Empire's might and remained human. Unshaken, unfazed, and entirely composed, the Horizon had been in Imperial space for many days. Ethan Cole and his crew had observed fleets, studied stations, and quietly interacted with officers. Throughout their stay, they had remained calm, polite, and unfazed by displays of power, intimidation, and military demonstrations. Now, it was time to leave. Jump coordinates are confirmed, Lisa Brown said, checking the charts. We are ready to return to known space. Good, Ethan replied. He looked at his crew. We leave as calmly as we arrived. No sudden movements, no overreactions. Polite farewell and a safe jump. Kevin Hill smiled. I'll record the jump. Last time our arrival made quite the impression. I wonder what they will say when we leave. Amy Clark chuckled softly. They probably still can't understand humans. We've remained calm the entire time. No panic, no aggression. Just curiosity and respect. Daniel Ross nodded. And that is what unsettles them. They cannot predict us. That is our advantage, our way. The humans gathered in the docking bay, checking instruments, confirming systems, and preparing for the jump. The Imperial officers who had observed them throughout their stay were present, watching quietly. Some seemed uneasy. Others seemed fascinated. Thank you for hosting us, Ethan said politely to the lead officer. We have learned much and observed carefully. We hope our stay has been as informative for you as it has been for us. The officer hesitated, then inclined his head. Your species is unlike any we have studied. You have observed without fear, questioned without arrogance, and remained polite in the face of overwhelming power. The Council will take note of this. Amy added, we appreciate your guidance and patience. Humans value fairness, clarity, and understanding. That is why we remained calm. Kevin grinned. And curious. We are always curious. It is part of being human. The officer gave a faint smile, unsure how to respond. He had seen species tremble, beg, or worship before. These humans had done none of that. They had remained human. Polite, curious, and calm. Ethan nodded. We hope to avoid accidental intrusion in the future, but if humans do enter Imperial space again, we hope it will be in the spirit of understanding, not conflict. The docking bay opened. The horizon moved slowly into the observation corridor, engines humming smoothly. The fleet formation shifted slightly, giving way for the humans' departure. No threats were made, only silent observation. "Ready for jump," Ethan said, returning to the bridge. The crew confirmed all systems. Engines, navigation, shields, sensors, all were operational and stable. "Coordinates set," Ethan asked Lisa. "Confirmed. Jump in 3, 2, 1, she said. The ship shivered lightly as faster-than-light travel began. Stars stretched into long lines. The sensation of speed filled the cabin, but the humans remained calm, as if it were a normal part of the day. Kevin recorded data continuously, noting fleet positions, energy signatures, and station output. "Their coordination is impressive," he said quietly, "but I am curious how they will report us. We behaved calmly, but they may not understand that is our strength." Daniel nodded. "Strength comes in many forms. Fearlessness, composure, observation, that is how humans survive." Amy added, "And they will remember us, not as intruders or threats, but as something different, something unusual in their galaxy." As the horizon jumped out of Imperial space, the Empire remained behind, observing through sensors and reports. Officers whispered in corridors, debating how to describe the humans to the Council. "They are not like any species we know," one officer said. "They did not fear our fleets. They did not collapse. They simply remained human." "And that is what is dangerous," another said quietly. "Not power, not weapons, not fleets. Their calmness is unshakable. We cannot predict them. They respect reason, fairness, and knowledge. That is a force we cannot measure." Back on the horizon, Ethan and his crew checked systems and reviewed the data collected. The jump had been smooth. No incidents occurred. The humans were safe, calm, and ready for their next mission. "We handled this perfectly," Ethan said quietly. "No panic, no mistakes. Just careful observation and calm decision-making." Lisa smiled. "And the Empire will remember us. They may never forget humans who are unshaken by power." Kevin laughed softly. "I imagine rumors spreading through their fleets. Humans entered Imperial space and were calm." "No fear, no panic, no submission," Amy nodded. "And that will change how they see humans, not as prey or competitors, but as something different, unpredictable, calm, and rational." Daniel added, "And we did it without confrontation, without weapons, without arrogance. Simply by being ourselves." As the horizon moved through space, the humans reflected on their journey. They had entered a galactic empire by accident, faced fleets and weapons far beyond human scale, and remained completely unfazed. They had observed, questioned politely, and learned more than they could have imagined. Ethan spoke to the crew. "Remember this. Humans survive because we stay calm, think clearly, and act rationally. Power alone does not intimidate us. Knowledge and observation guide our actions." Kevin nodded. "And it works. The Empire cannot measure our strength by fear because we do not rely on fear. We rely on understanding." Lisa smiled. "And that is what makes humans unusual in this galaxy. We are unpredictable in our calmness, and that is our power." Amy added, "We have shown them another way to respond to power. Not with terror, not with submission, not with worship, with observation, respect, and calm intelligence." The horizon continued its journey home. The Empire would spread reports of the humans who remained unfazed by fleets, weapons, and intimidation. Whispers would grow into rumors. Officers and council members would discuss humans for years, trying to understand a species that faced overwhelming power without fear. "Do you think they will ever truly understand us?" Kevin asked. Ethan smiled. "Perhaps not, but it does not matter. We do not need them to understand fully. We act as humans always act, calmly, politely, and with curiosity. That is enough." Daniel added, "And if they meet humans again, they will remember, not for conflict, but for our approach, calm, rational, and steady, unpredictable in our steadiness." Lisa nodded. "And that is how humans survive, by being human even in the presence of overwhelming power." Amy looked at the stars passing by. "I think this is only the beginning. Humans will explore more, meet more species, and remain the same, curious, polite, and unfazed." As the horizon approached known space, the crew prepared to report their accidental jump, correct their maps, and continue their mission. The Empire would remember them, and the galaxy would slowly begin to see humans differently. Ethan spoke one last time to his crew before re-entry into familiar systems. "We have done what humans do best. We faced the unknown calmly. We observed, learned, and remained ourselves. Nothing more, nothing less. And that is our strength." The stars shifted back to familiar constellations. The sensors showed known planets and friendly traffic. The horizon was returning home, safe, calm, and prepared for whatever the galaxy offered next. And somewhere in the Empire, officers continued to whisper, "Humans, we cannot measure them with fear. They do not tremble. They respect reason and knowledge. And that is something we have never encountered before." The horizon moved steadily, the crew quietly celebrating their success not with fanfare but with calm satisfaction. They had entered a galactic empire by accident and left a lasting impression. Humans were unpredictable, steady, and polite. They were unfazed by power, yet they remained humble, curious, and completely human. The galaxy had changed its perception of humans forever, not with violence or force, but through calmness, observation, and the quiet strength of being themselves. The horizon continued into the stars, carrying humans who faced the universe with steady eyes, polite hearts, and unshakable calm. And that calm, more than any weapon or fleet, was the beginning of humanity's quiet influence on the galaxy.